Llegó el momento. Por todo lo que aman, no les muestren piedad.
Hello, friends of Fans21.
Hola.
Hola.
What can we expect to see in part 2? Where can we see your characters at this point?
Oh, an amazing, collaboration of a team that, a bunch of rebels who came together really to sort of like help out these villagers to, to survive this ordeal with the Imperium. Obviously, this is a time you really see all of us coming together and really counting our story and telling, sort of revealing each other's backstory to trying to get, I guess, a better connection within,
Yeah, to know what and who we're fighting for, and what each other are fighting for. I think, for me, it's the same thing. I think you get a more of a deeper look into the relationships and how these people with big needs for redemption in many different ways come together. And I think it's really beautiful because like in real life, we're all from very different walks of life, but we find this was one cause, and I think it revives something in all of us, gives us something worth fighting for that goes beyond the people we've lost, or the reasons we feel like the redemption we feel like we need to overcome. We're fighting for each other. We're fighting for something greater than ourselves, and I think that makes it kind of beautiful. And there's fun moments as well. There's some fun moments as well.
Yeah, you get to see the relationships develop, which is exciting. In part 1, we meet all these characters, we see their worlds visually, but then in part 2, we get to go a little bit deeper and see who they are and who they are to each other, how they strengthen and grow as a community. So I think it's
interestingly, outside of the film, we all also a bunch of
weirdos,
freaks.
Well, I wouldn't say freaks, but I mean we all come from a very different parts of the world. Yeah. I mean, Africa, Russia, India,
Chicago.
Next door. No, so in that respect, it's quite eclectic, where we all come from in the world, and I think that's beautiful to see also in terms of integration
and how that translates
into
the performance as well.
You work in projects about sci-fi and fantasy often. For you, what do you think makes Rebel Moon stand apart?
Yeah, do you know what I love about Rebel Moon, for starters, is that Zack created worlds that still lend themselves to relatable qualities in history. Right. You look, whether it's the costume or the worlds itself, feels like a Scandinavian, Amish kind of friendly, wholesome village. You got Daggers, which is like this over-industrialized Asian New York, even. You know what I mean? It's there's all these kind of nods to history, and I think it's wonderful when people can create worlds that feel intergalactic but still are rooted in some kind of form that make the spectator go, I could understand that. I can see that. I could imagine living there, and I think that's one of the things that really makes it stand out, and how bold it is for trying to do so much world development and so many different worlds in essentially one movie, which is what this is. It's part 1 and part 2 of one movie. So I think that's also very adventurous and a bold thing to attempt and pull off.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, this is my first sci-fi fantasy film, but what I will say that I appreciated about it so much is that there's so much heart in it. I think all the characters really bring so much soul, and it's great to have the grandiosity of all the worlds and the battles, but then there's also the very human element to sort of ground it.
Yes, in support of that, I think, of course, we're living in this fantasy world, but at the same time, the resonance for me, it's the story itself and how that resonates vividly with our reality. It seemed to mimic historical reality.
somos su pesadilla. Pelear juntos por defender algo que amamos.